Hi, I'm just checking in. I know Catholic Anthroposophy has not really grown as much as I wanted it to this year. I wanted to spend a lot more time on it, developing it, especially because of my book series, which, if you're familiar with my first book series, Beyond Natural Cures, there was always this looming next series, which was supposed to be health, honestly. It was supposed to be a next part of health, but I've moved past that now into spiritual health in a new direction. And I feel like every time I get ready to do a new series, this is my dog Bizu. Let's see if I can cover him up. He snores so loud. I feel like every time I get to start working on it and get working on the new project, other things sort of pop up. And so I've been really waiting for this entire revelation to come through, and I've been in my Katharsis now, going on my 9th year, and I've made my way through the dark night of the soul, and I'm edging my way into this new beginning, honestly. And what that looks like and what I thought it was going to look like is not really the same thing at all. And so I actually did finish some books recently. I have a book on Italian. Not on Italian, but I suppose it is on Italian. I have a book in Italian coming out. My first book is going to be released in a couple weeks. And that's actually a true story. It's a love story of my husband and I. And so many people have asked me about the story. It's such a beautiful story. And one thing that's really incredible about it is that when we went for for citizenship and stuff, the woman at the government office, she started crying when she asked us to tell her the story. She loved the story so much. So that's something that's been in my mind for many years, is to write down my love story, which I did, and I'm really happy about it. I'm happy about how it's coming out, and I've already got a couple more parts to it. That's going to be a series too. Seems like I like the idea of continuing on. I think in terms of series always, and so that's ready. And then I wrote my first children's book, which is like a fairy tale for Passover, for a Jewish family that I'm close with, and their little girl who I love so much. So I wrote a story about a flower from the flower's perspective. So I'm excited about that. I did all the illustrations, so that should be coming out this year as well. As far as my other stuff I've been working on, I'm really surprised at where this has taken me. For the last year, I've been really into, and it's just come to me, and it's came through Steiner, and also just YouTube, honestly. Father Spiridon, an Orthodox priest. I've been following his account for a while, and I've really accepted him as my guide, my spiritual guide, and he's really changed my life the last 6 months. And also Soloviev, who is someone that I've gotten into. Also Dostoevsky. I just finished the Brothers Karamazov, and I would like to go back and read it again, and probably next year or something, when I feel like I understand the culture better. I'm still learning about it, and it's something that's so interesting to me, that's just opened up to me, that almost I didn't even really realize existed. But this, actually, I have it right here, Vladimir Soloviev's book, by Paul Allen. This is the Anthroposophy book. I can't recommend it enough. It's absolutely beautiful. In reading it and just really reading a lot of his history right now, I'm in the first couple chapters. I'm seeing the Brothers Karamazov like in my head, how I pictured it when I was reading it. And it's just something so, it's like a new door has been opened to me, a new dimension, which is really just across the world. So that's been something new to me. Also, Tchaikovsky's work as far as these hymns, which I love Gregorian Latin chants, and I listen to that pretty much almost exclusively, at least every day. And so these Russian Orthodox hymns are very beautiful too. I'm getting to know some of them. And I find it, and just learning some of the Greek. So anyways, it's interesting. And then behind all of this, I've been really dedicated to some saints the last year or so. And there's several saints, like my patron saint, specifically Santa Monica, which is St. Augustine's mother. She was told to me from a woman at my church, St. Joe's. She told me when I started going through my crisis, my dark night of the soul in 2018, she actually stopped me at church and told me to pray to Santa Monica. And so it took me 5 years to actually do that. It's like I set out to do it. I looked for her prayer cards at church stores and things like that, but it just wasn't in the cards for me at the time. It's really a learning process. We're growing each day, we're learning each day, and one thing builds on another. And that's really what I appreciate about my life journey has been, and getting older. I'm going to be 51 this year. And I'm just so grateful to be alive and for just consciousness expanding, learning new things all the time, understanding things, seeing things that were important to me that weren't important anymore. And so the saints are a part of that, because coming from a Catholic family with 4 priests in my family, nobody really explained anything about the saints to me. And as a child, I saw that movie about St. Bernadette, and I loved it. It was my favorite movie, and I watched it every year. And her date is coming April 16th, I believe. So I'm going to watch it again. But was not something that was real to me until recently. And I've had some experiences, which I talk about more, some of these experiences another time. But for right now, I've been reading St. Augustine's Confessions, and I have to say, wow, I'm so blown away. Talk about a different epoch, and yet it being so relevant. I'm also listening, the man who's reading it has a very beautiful tone of voice. I think I just really also enjoy listening to it. But I am going to be buying the books. I want to buy I'd like to buy beautiful hardcover saint books. I want to get St. Teresa of Avila. I want to get Edith Stein's books, and of course St. John of the Cross, The Ascent to Mount Carmel, and The Dark Night of the Soul. So I have my list of all the books. So that's what I'm trying to get through right now. I have a list of books that I'm trying to get through, and before I can really write some of my new stuff, I need to really feel like I'm on the verge of just a lot of new revelations and understanding and spiritual breakthroughs, which has been consistent. Beautiful things. I had 2 beautiful miracles happen just this week. two things I've been praying about for very, very hard for very long, but not as long as some people, not like Santa Monica. But one thing in particular I've been praying about for 2 years, and I found out that came true. I was so happy I started crying. I'll talk about that more another day. And then another thing I was praying for was something terrible had happened. Something more terrible was about to happen, and it was something that I really, really prayed about. And then it turned out that I was protected, and this thing happened, and something really, really good happened, and it was just really miraculous how it happened. So I try to pray that will be done. Like, I am at that point in my life where I don't have a list. I have accepted this walk and just keep asking the Mother of God for these graces, and to Christ have mercy on me, to prepare me. I want to be prepared, not just for my death, because that's something new to me too, preparing for death, how important it is to have a beautiful death, and to prepare for that death, of course, but to prepare for when the blessings happen. And I think I have that on my other channel, where 2022 I made a video about how the Holy Spirit had revealed to me that when my deliverance comes, when the day of my redemption comes, if it comes on earth, I mean, it might not be earthside, honestly. I have to accept, like, Moses didn't get to the promised land within his earth time, but preparing for when the blessings break through. And this message told me that it was going to be like Paul. Wasn't just going to be me, it was going to be many other people were going to be blessed. And so that's been my prayer, and that's been my goal, and that's what I've been holding on to and holding out for. So I've had many alternatives and opportunities in the situation that I'm in, but I just keep praying that the glory will be to Christ and that many people are going to be blessed. It's just not for me that I'm fighting for. It's for humanity. It's for my children and for all the mother's children. So anyways, it's good news. Lots of good things happening. I'm going to try to get these videos up more. Some of them I've put on private just because I'm going to be doing another website soon. If you haven't been following me for the last 15-20 years on my other accounts, the other one's Healers of Humanity, my accounts got taken down. I was hacked, and every time I try to do pretty much anything, somebody hacks me and destroys all my work. And someone took like 30 years of my work and blogs and destroyed everything. So I didn't really think I was going to do a website for a long time, but not with these new books and things coming up. I'm determined to get something up. And if you want to email me or direct message me, you can do that through healersofhumanity@gmail.com, and I can send you the videos. I just don't want to put, I want to keep, actually, I want to keep everything very private. I don't even like keeping anything public, but I want to keep the information available as much as possible. But ideally, coming up, everything is going to be private, and it's going to be accessible just to members, just to keep a sacred environment and a sacred circle. And I've had to be very protective because I have been always attacked physically, spiritually, you name it. Bye.